and away we go. Good start from the two Ducatis. Look at Martin coming through. Marc Marquez is through from the second row as well. It's
good start for Aleix Espargaro. He's already up into set 4.
Oh, Marquez is having a look through turn 4. Not quite enough room. He's getting
fight his way through. He got Quartararo on the inside at turn 7. Quartararo has the inside line though, down to reverse corkscrew though. No, he gets his out in Aragon 2 here last year as well, didn't he? So Pecco Bagnaia making the early headway and a hobble away, unfortunately, for LCR Honda rider Alex Marquez.
Will be pleased with that. A couple of places made up already.
Yeah, 2 guys that needed a start and a good first lap have had there exactly what they wanted. Aleix Martin's gone through, and Quartararo as well there through turn 17. The last 2 corners have been weak points all weekend for Fabio Quartararo.
A long way to go to get anywhere near the top 4 or 5. It's Bagnaia who leads here with Marc Marquez further back. Binder's up to 8th ahead of Pol Espargaro on the Red Bull KTM.
It was a good moment, not working out for him back in 13th spot. Alex Rins had a good first lap, to be fair, too. He picked up 5 places from 20th. He's already in the pool. Marquez will struggle just to stay in the slipstream of that Desmos Adichie as they head towards turn 16 for the second time in a Motogp battle. Binder's going to give it back to him on the brakes into the first corner. That's going to be tight.
That is tight.
That's been stretched out to over 0.6 of a second. Miller's got it back down to about half a second. Mir at the moment's not been able to show Aleix
the anchor into turn 1 out front. That's the gap from the helicopter view. Bagnaia leads from the Repsol Honda man
down the hill into turn 12. He's been so good there down the years, hasn't he, the Repsol Honda man? It's all going to form as we suspected based on their
left-handers are what Marc Marquez loves, and over the crest and across the start-finish straight. That's what you don't want to know, isn't it, really? Yeah. On a few riders further back, Pol Espargaro has dropped down to 12th. Iker Lecuona's up ahead of Binder now into 8th. Good job
now. Maverick Vinales on the factory Aprilia. Well, he's down in 19th at the moment, locked in a fight with Luca Marini and Valentino.
Close the gap.
The slender hopes that Johann Zarco had of keeping himself in World Championship contention are disappearing very
Quartararo is losing touch of the top 6. That's something we've not said at any stage. In his back pocket, and now Bastianini is in 10th as well. Alex Rins'
ambient temperatures, hot track conditions as well, particularly on the left side. When you come through turns 10 and then turns 16 and 17, the left
Marquez is still there, and Miller. Aleix Espargaro is still in 4th. Mir, of course, who's so strong at the end of races traditionally in 2020. No one really showing their cards just yet.
Game of chess, isn't it, at the moment? A very high speed 8th. It might be 7th pretty soon.
Yeah, and Enea Bastianini's just starting to warm up as well. Oh, it's wide there from Takamaki. That bright orange KTM number 27, trying to get his teeth stuck into the World Championship leader.
Fingers and ears.
An odd move to go for the medium front tyre, wasn't it?
I just wonder whether as well, Steve, he's been talking about a chronic problem with arm pump. I just wonder whether that's a pretty well.
The former Monster Energy Yamaha teammates Maverick Vinales and Valentino Rossi in 19th and 20th.
Can you imagine pitching?
Whole world, isn't it? Now then, these 2 guys out front, are they starting to build a bit of a gap? They are over Jack Miller in 3rd. He's 6.1, is a very fast lap indeed from Marc Marquez.
Yeah, trying to stretch them, the likes of Miller. He's repeating that here today, awesome.
Less than a 10th off. The best race lap set by Morbidelli
before, where constantly, lap by lap, he comes over the line, sees his pit board, plus 0.
Not very often, if at all, in 2021.
Normally, he doesn't crack, he doesn't buckle.
Great.
You know, when you look at the recent performances of Iker Lecuona, the top 6 after a great ride in that rain-hit Austrian quite. Again, there's just absolutely nothing between their lap times. In fact, on the last lap, Miller and Aleix Espargaro
hard on the brakes at full lean angle on board with Marc Marquez. Second gear, trying to find a way. Binder's through on him now. Did not expect to see this from the Frenchman today.
Not at all. He wasn't many people's leader. Bastianini's got a second advantage on Nakagami. He's coming under pressure as well now from Alex Rins, whose recovery from 20th has been...
But yeah, he dropped like a stone that day, and it looks like similar problems here for him at the moment. This is how it looks out. So Quartararo's 10.
And Nakagami right there as well now. He's got the tighter inside line here. The Yamaha
World Championship as well.
Well, Bastianini is obviously right on his case. Not a million miles further back.
His flag went out. It would be cut to 52 with Bagnaia winning, but that's far from a foregone conclusion with 15 laps to go. This is how it looks. It's
chronic arm pump. He hasn't got arm pump in this race, we don't think. I just wonder whether, having dropped back in that group, whether it
cares to cut above the rest at present. 8 laps gone, soon to be 9 laps gone. They're a second clear now of Miller and
taken. Jack's so good on the brakes, isn't he? So that's going to be a problematic challenge, a bit of a conundrum for Espargaro.
He's faster than both of these guys at the moment. Taka Nakagami is starting to make inroads.
And he's one rider, Bastianini.
Espargaro, Aleix that is, and Joan Mir are slipping away a bit. They're now 1.5 seconds back on Bagnaia and Marquez. Marquez
is the Luca Marini. Rossi down in 20th place and down in the 150s now, so he's about a second and a half off the pace. 6th place. The gap is just over a second. Martin himself.
He's the only other rider in the 48s at the moment in the entire field as he closes now on Aleix Espargaro.
This could be a big day for Pecco Bagnaia.
You just know, Matt, though, that in MotoGP it doesn't always go to script, and whilst it looks plain sailing at the moment,
Marc Marquez is being tested here in Aragon. Normally he's had it all his own way, so grip will start to fade. Piero Paramasso, Michelin Motorsport boss, said there'll be a drop-off from about lap 15 onwards. We're not
to the hands quickly of Bastianini and Taka Nakagami. You were right about Alex Rins, his charge early on. Really big mistake that from the Aussie.
Was there a moment on the front end going into turn 16, but it's been a...
Still the two leaders lapping in the 148s. Aleix Espargaro then, at the moment, in line. No, he's not. Joan Mir's just gone up into 3rd place, whilst
he's 3.3 seconds behind Marc Marquez, who's only a couple of tenths behind Bagnaia.
I have a feeling it's not going... I mean, it might be just as you can see on the TV, you know, how it's playing out, but I've got a feeling in his debrief that he thinks with right at the end, if you haven't managed it well.
Here in Aragon, I'm going to keep my eye firmly fixed on that gap between Marc Marquez in 2nd and Joan Mir.
The soft rear tyre, although they have done a lot of laps on it, they proved that it can go the full race distance. There can be a big drop as well. You just can't see any way that Mir can claw back that 3.3 seconds. He's going to need something significant to happen to the type ending that 9th place. He would not have had to have worked too much harder for a 9th spot than he is at the moment to keep Bastianini and Nakagami behind him. Back to the 2nd of the Repsol Hondas in the hands of Pol Espargaro.
On to the back straight we go. This is where the Ducati really comes. 16 and 17, and Bastianini is at last through, but he's a little bit wide, and Quartararo on the cutbacks trying to get back involved. Nakagami's there to pick up.
Back in the hands of Fabio Quartararo. Nakagami. Quartararo was in hot there, wasn't he? Trying to defend the two men behind him.
Again, oh, that's close, really close, almost contact. Was there contact between Nakagami and Bastianini there? Michael, wobble around for Bastianini. That's a proper tank slapper on the approach to turn 12.
God, if only he was pushing. Hervé Poncharam made a great point talking to Simon Crafar this morning. Since he knew that he was out of a ride,
yeah, he's a bike, but he's young enough to make another appearance in MotoGP in the future for sure.
Absolutely.
This record to keep. He's undefeated in the last 4 visits to Aragon. They are both
there in the 150, so Bagnaia and Marquez have just been in a completely different race. This is Ducati. Jorge Lorenzo battles famously, of course, many a tough battle with that. More importantly, your tyre management as well.
Still in the 48-6ers though, the pair of them. The last win for Ducati hits to Marc Marquez on more than a few occasions. The last 2 visits for Marc Marquez, he beat Dovi.
So he's armed with a wealth of knowledge of exactly what the Ducati man's strengths and weaknesses are.
A good start would be there. The one I have to shout out to that has surprised the motorcycle world again.
With Marc Marquez on the 16th lap, and in a moment, after these 2 left-handers, there'll be 7 to crash here. Earlier this weekend as well, at turn 14.
Again, the pair of them stay in the 148s and on circuit. Aleix Espargaro has now got that gap down to Joan Mir in 3rd place to under 4/10 of a second. Game on as a Aprilia Go slipped 1.5 seconds now behind Aleix Espargaro. So it looks like it's going to be quite a lonely charge. The checkered flag in 5th for Jack. And on that last lap, Steve, Enea Bastianini, having got back through on Nakagami, was half a second quicker than Fabio Quartararo. Problem at the reverse corkscrew. There was. In way too hot then into turn number 8.
Oh, that's a shame. He's 2
Yeah, and at the moment, there's no obvious visual sign that either of them are hitting any sort of rear tyre grip problems.
The line further back again, Mir pretty much matched their time, so no advantage being. He doesn't know Pecco Bagnaia so well. He doesn't really know what he's getting in a straight scrap either. So
fascinating, intriguing to see how this will unfold over the next 5 laps or so. They dropped down the hill. He got the body to run for the race victory. That's exactly where he's at right now.
It's difficult to see here, isn't it, as to whether or not Marc Marquez is keeping something in reserve or whether he's being stretched.
There's been more than a tenth and a half between their lap times. It's been that tight, that close, nothing between them again as they
Motogp victory. If he gets it, there'll be so many emotions. Marc Marquez, though, does like breaking a heart or two.
Johann Zarco, a quick check on him. He's dropped down to 17th place now. So Cal Crutchlow no longer in that 17th place.
Very strong in sector 1. Turns 3, 4, 5. That could be an option for him.
Well, we saw him talking the normally super cool, relaxed, usually a twitchy in the seat, isn't he?
Oh, is it coming here?
A couple of times Marquez has looked like look up the inside of Bagnaia late on into turn 4.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised at all. You can just see in the bottom left of your screen there as well that Bastianini has
almost reach out now and grab rear tyre of Pecco Bagnaia's factory Ducati.
Oh, is it coming into turn 12? This is fake.
You can just see though how hard Bagnaia was having to force that front tyre. Just hoping he came out the other side. He's under immense pressure here. It's MotoGP winner in 2021 that's somehow keeping Marquez at bay.
He's a lot closer here to go around turn 17. He's getting closer. He's about to make his move. It looks like he's got more grip at the moment. Marc Marquez
really try and get close. Well, of course he'll try and get close into turn 3. Will he be close enough though to try and make a move?
A block pass up the inside, but he goes wide. Bagnaia, here we go then. Battle engaged.
Yeah, he just tried to use the at turn 5.
Down through turn 8. Marc Marquez then has shown his first card, and Bagnaia knows he's there. He's trying
the move to attack down the hill on the brakes into turn 12. He looks like he might be close enough. No, again, Bagnaia is so good. So much confidence.
The block pass this time into turn 15, but again on the cutback, here comes Bagnaia.
See what Marquez did there.
It's just speed around 16 and 17 and again, and this time he will be close enough to make another move and maybe lead into starts
lap 22. No. Not close enough on the brakes into the first corner.
And here comes the move. No, he's not close enough.
Now then, will he lunge again at turn 5? He did it on the previous lap.
Yep.
He does. Yeah, he's going for it. Occasion, Bagnaia's come straight back at him.
Bagnaia slams the door shut on his fingers. This is an intriguing encounter. The Ducati
so good down the hill into that tricky braking zone. No way through for Marquez.
Will he try again here? Is there another one coming?
Into Marquez went for it. Lap 22, turns 5 and turns 15. Marquez went for it. 4 raids on Bagnaia. Pecco needs some power here from that factory Ducati. Marquez goes for it on the inside into the first corner, punishing that front end.
There's another one coming here from Marc Marquez. He's not close enough through 3 or 4. He does it again into 5.
In for this Marquez onslaught.
What a race, what a battle. Bagnaia on the Ducati, Marquez on the Repsol Honda. There was another coming there.
Well, it's gonna have to be turn 12 and then try and keep Bagnaia behind him for the run down the back straight or turn over the crest down the hill into turn 12. What has Marquez got here?
Yeah.
Here it comes down the hill. He's through on Bagnaia.
Number 7. Bagnaia though doesn't know. He's really hot here.
Surely now it's Pecco Bagnaia's race. Marc Marquez has thrown everything at Pecco Bagnaia, but he's got it.
16, turn 17. The checkered flag is out. The wait is finally over. We've witnessed a cracker here in Aragon. Bagnaia for Ducati. Bastianini, 6th place. What a ride from him. And the World Championship leader Fabio Quartararo has to settle for
what he got through on Pecco Bagnaia. But it's the
Halo, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bersama Bang Mimin, para pencipta mobil oleng di seluruh Nusantara, seluruh Indonesia. Kali ini Bang Mimin akan memberikan review ya tentang Bang Mimin baru saja membeli mobil mainan, yaitu mobil oleng guys. Ya, nih bisa oleng kanan kiri, masukkan guys. Ini kalau malam ini ada lampunya guys, speknya ini ada lampunya nih 1, 2. Nah jadi kalau malam ini nambah keren ya, nambah hidup ya. Ini dibanderol sekitar 150.000 ya. Apakah kemahalan apakah tidak sahabat, menurut kalian kayak mana? Kalau menurut Bang Mimin ya, harga itu tergantung dengan kualitas produk ya. Kalau menurut Mimin dengan harga terjangkau 150, lumayan lah, agak terlalu lumayan ini karena Mimin belinya sahabat nih, din belinya di tuh, belinya secara online ya guys ya, karena kalau online kita kan nggak tahu bagus apa tidaknya. Nah jadi begini ya hasilnya, lumayan lah, mungkin standarnya sekitar 100 lah guys sahabat ya, 100. Mungkin ongkos buatnya sekitar 50.000, nggak nyampe ini ya, nyampe guys, sekitar 50.000. Nah ini di dalamnya ini ada ban, ini per, ini untuk oleng ya guys. Kalau untuk oleng itu nggak paten, ada pernya nih ya. Ini juga ada pernya nih, jadinya bisa oleng nanti ya. Nah ini sini ada batu, ini batu ini untuk lampu ya sahabat ya. Nah ini kabel-kabel untuk lampu. Nah bannya ini sebenarnya cuma menggunakan kayu ya sahabat, tapi kalau kayu ini malah awet, malah kuat. Dan di sini sedikit dimodifikasi list. Nah gitu ya, masuk ya. Dan ini bisa muat apa aja ya sahabat ya. Nah mantap kali, bisa joget pokoknya rekomendasi sekali buat kalian yang ingin membeli mobil oleng, nggak ada salahnya untuk koleksi ya. Nah tuh buat adik-adik kalau ingin beli mainan online mobil, biar didampingin orang tua ya, biar kualitasnya bisa maksimal ya. Oke cukup sekian, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.